TV 18 market report and straight to the exclusive news break flashing on your screens currently. And it's a full of news day, at least for the Tata Group, because Morgan Stanley has just launched a huge block for buying Tata Motors shares. And it is 5 crore shares of Tata Motors which are being bought at a 10% premium to the current closing price of Tata Motors, which stood at 454 rupees per share, and 499 rupees 80 paise is the price at which this block trade is expected to happen. Remember, it's 1.73% stake in Tata Motors which is being bought. Let's take it across to a market expert who's joining us on the phone line. Prakash Diwan is right here with us. Prakash, good to have you on the show. 5 crore shares, 1.73% stake, 10% premium. Prakash, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, 1.73% stake, 5 crore shares at 10% premium to the last closing price. That's where it stands when it comes to Tata Motors share purchase by one of the clients of Morgan Stanley is what we gather at this point. How do you have to react? Because at this point, every bit of share really counts, with minority shareholders really voting either ways, either in favor of Tatas or Mistries in the EGM.
Yeah, so, there are two ways to look at this transaction, Nisha. One is, first and foremost, what's the rationale behind buying out a significant stake in Tata Motors, which is not possibly a top favorite amongst institutional investors right now, at a 10% premium. So that's number one. So there must be definitely a little bit of attractiveness which goes beyond just the share price. And the second question is the moot point in terms of who is this minority share, who is the new acquirer who would, eventually possibly swing any other outcomes in favor of one of the camps, whether it's the Ratan Tata camp or the Mistry camp.
That's right. And the stock purchase is at a 10% premium. How do you expect the markets to really behave? It will come in line with the last price at which the block deal really happens?
So I think it may sentimentally definitely open up strong, but given the fact that Tata Motors has seen, very sporadic and inconsistent growth in sales numbers, especially on the Jaguar side, it might not, attract more investors to be, coming in droves to buy the stock at these high levels. And there are a lot of shorts in the system in any case, if I remember correctly, the data is on at least Friday. So there could be, possibly a little bit of short covering led move towards, the transaction price that you mentioned, which is a 10% premium, but it might not sustain. You'll find it difficult to sustain that.
All right. So it could be either ways, but 32.43% stake is held by promoters, Prakash, in Tata Motors, as I was going through the numbers. And LIC has, in each of these listed companies, being holding more than 10%. I'm just trying to open that particular figure as well. So in that particular case, either way, somebody, LIC in this particular case, as my data shows me at this point, is 5.20%. So it could be either ways, and it could really swing the votes, is what I gather. It could be done in that particular fashion also, especially with Tata Motors not being a hot favorite. Thanks so much, Prakash, for joining us with those quick thoughts on this news break. So in the run-up to the EGM, even stock accumulation could be one of the things to be watched out for. But at this point, we do gather 1.73% stake in Tata Motors to be bought, and Morgan Stanley has launched this buyout program at 499 rupees 80 paise per share, and this will be a 10% premium to the last closing price of Tata Motors shares.